Ooh, what's up, Internet? My name's Nerdy, and this is One Piece, episode 271 and 272. We're in Enies' lobby, Luffy's fighting Blueno, and the rest of the cast are riding giant sea creatures across the main street of the government's judgment capital to try and get there to catch up and help, I guess. Trying to explain One Piece mid-arc to someone who doesn't watch One Piece is a task I'm not up for. I don't have the ability. I merely watch the One Piece, and I enjoy the One Piece. So let's get on the cruise. If you want that full-length reaction, go to patreon.com/nerdynightly. But if you don't, stay here, because, well, you're already here. And why leave? Now, you've only watched the worst part of the video, which is when you only see my face. Much more attractive faces, like Zoro, are about to show up. Oh, I read the title. Hoist the counterattack signal. I haven't read the title in forever. I don't know what's wrong with me today, y'all. It's early, I'm having coffee. What is the counterattack signal? Where did they get the treads? Are the Yagars always wearing those underground? Jesus Christ. This level in the video game would go hard. Having to protect the King Bulls from the trench, you know. Chopper. Chopper's honestly too good for this world. Oh, Kokoro knows. Oh. That whole thing is the drawbridge. Interesting. The noises that the transponder snail Granny's holding is gonna have to make are gonna be insane. Cow, ping, ting, tang, clang, ka-tong, tong, cling, clang. As it's just trying to, like, this poor transponder snail with its mouth is trying to make, like, this sound of swords bashing into each other. Boom, boom, boom. Gamora! No! Oh, is this the three-headed justice thing? Zoro is locked the fuck in. No, who the fuck is this? There's that motherfucker. Alright, here we go. They're gonna get almost fucked, and then Soga King is gonna show up with the giants, right? One thing I don't like about anime is the floppy snot when people are freaking out. It's not just a One Piece thing, and I think it's just that I don't like snot very much. Does anyone like snot? I take that back. That's a weird thing to say. But the floppy snot, I don't like it. They're so pissed. They're so angry. They're so angry. Oh man. That feels good. Feels good right in the heart. Lulu la la loo.
苦しゅうない。今度こそ反撃ののろしを上げろ。同志たちのもとへ急ぐのだ。
Oh, it was their counter. I figured the counterattack signal was going to come from Enies' lobby. Because they're the ones being attacked. It doesn't matter. I'm loving this for Usopp. This has been a good little arc to give him something to, like, get his dignity back with. Smart writing.
死後を慎め。バカだ。いや、別にうちの子分が迎えに来ねえから。
They are actually. Fucking how? I know One Piece is One Piece, and it's dumb of me to think about it, but like, how the fuck is that little bird drinking that orange juice? Ooh, Khalifa with the devil fruit?
俺の中の悪魔と喧嘩を始めて体が爆発しちまうんだ。本当か？
No.
体が跡形もなく飛び散って死ぬというな。
欲深いバカは身を滅ぼす。
If you eat 2 fruits, you explode.
そうなのか。しかし長官、悪魔の実2つもよく手に入ったな。一体どこで？
Why didn't Spandam eat one?
金槌になったところで不自由もないしな。その悪魔の実たった一つ探し求め。
How can that bird hold that glass?
カリファ、やめとけって。いいことねえぞ。
I kind of agree with the Scarface guy here. They're just sitting there staring at them. That's so fucking weird.
うまく売れば何億かの金になるんだぞ。その一口が一生の問題なんだぜ。
Yeah, superpowers or extreme wealth. I think they both go for it. It would be kind of interesting if one of them didn't, but I think they both do. Here we go. Oh, this just got so much harder. Unless, like, they get really weird powers that make it easy for Luffy to win. I'm not surprised they taste awful. You know what I mean? Like, there's gotta be some negative side effect to getting superpowers.
ブルーノのやつは待ちきれず、先に祭りに参加しているようだな。
Alright, let's go. This is the fight that we're gonna get like 4 seconds of each episode, right? Oh no, I guess there's still like 3 or 4 minutes left in this one. God, I don't know how Luffy fights 4 devil fruit users. Come on, Luffy, you better dodge. Ooh. Oh, Luffy finally got a haircut. Clever. Rolling in the smoke? Oh, Luffy. Luffy, you better move, buddy.
回転ドア。
Okay, that was kind of stupid. That was a little dumb. I was pretty on board with most of this fight. The revolving door face, it's not. That was kind of dumb. God, this is so bad. How the fuck do they get out of this? I was right though. We got like 4 seconds of Blue and Luffy, and then we're cutting away to something else. That fight's gonna take place over like 12 episodes. Frankie family, you fucking better get to it. Kimura's got one last little burst of speed left in him. There we go. Go, go, Gamora, you know what they say. Go, go, Gamora, you'll make it someday. Go, go, Gamora, you're doing fine. All right, that's fun. I feel like the show has stretched the door thing to the limits of what I'm willing to buy into. The revolving door, it really did. It took me out of it. I was like, no, okay. But everything else episode I think is great. I love the consideration of the devil fruits. You know, Scarface being an idiot and being like, if the devil gets whatever. That joke was fine. But what was really interesting about Scarface was him being like, really consider this. Like, this could be terrible. This could ruin your life. And they both acknowledge that. And they still both decide to eat it. And, you know, I think that stories are more interesting when they're about characters making decisions, right? I think a lot of narrative gets ham-fisted into, well, these characters have to do this because the situation's crazy and they don't have a choice. And those, I think, actually run out of speed a little bit earlier in the narrative than you want them to, because your characters are just kind of like flung into a situation where there's always one right choice moving forward and they just have to do that. And then it just becomes a war of attrition between the reader and the character on their arc, as it just has to get fulfilled a certain way. I think that when you put decisions in front of your characters where they could go either way and there are benefits and cons in, you know, any direction that they choose, and they end up choosing to do something like this, I think that's the more interesting storytelling. That's where we get into what really makes us human, right? It's really easy to run from a creature because you have to run from the creature. It's a lot harder to consider, you know, do I want superpowers or do I want wealth? Do I want to risk that I'm going to get a power that's going to make the rest of my life awful? And they both choose to. And of course they do, because they're CP9 and this is their life. And they've been trained and bred and you know, like, not bred, but trained, and they're not Halo Spartans, but they've been trained to have this level of commitment to the cause. Brainwashed almost, right? And so I'm not surprised they made the decision that they did, but I love that the show took a second to slow down. In a show that is always, you know, rolling forward, they took a second to slow down and be like, hey, the last time we saw someone eat a devil fruit, it was Luffy and he was a kid. Let's take a moment to like put some serious consideration into whether or not this is actually a good idea for most people. Because I think a lot of people want superpowers because you think of like Superman, Wonder Woman. But the reality of superpowers would be really hard on most people. It would be an incredible amount of stress. Just the mental stress of, if you're a good enough person that you want to save people, the stress of knowing that you could be saving someone right now, but you're too tired, or you have to have your own life a little bit. God, it would be self-destructive for most people. You would just develop ulcers. So I like that scene a lot. I'll also find out that you can't eat more than one is interesting. I have a feeling the show will break that eventually. They'll come up with, the Grand Line scientists will come up with a way for you to eat a second devil fruit, or, you know, just because the show's like over 1,000 episodes. If Enies' lobby was the end of this arc, then I think that information would be important, because we would watch someone eat a second devil fruit and die. But because and explode, not die, but like, you know, blow up. I think that because they bring it up here and the show has so much more legway to go, and we bring up that there are Grand Line scientists studying devil fruits, I think that at some point we'll see a double devil fruit user. Probably not for a long time, right? Like, I'm thinking like episodes like 700s, 800s. But, you know, bringing up those kinds of rules to break them later is always fun when you're doing power scaling. But within reason, right? Not just being like, it doesn't matter anymore, but being like the secret government scientists in the underwater lab at Atlantis or wherever the fuck it's going to be called. Or like Sky. No, it wouldn't be Sky. We've already done Skypiea. We haven't gone underwater yet, and I feel like we have to go underwater because that's the most dangerous place for Luffy, right? Because he can't swim. So I wouldn't be surprised if the lab was underwater, because how else would you protect a lab from other devil fruit users than by putting it where devil fruit users can't get to as easily, or where they're in more danger and probably wouldn't risk going to. Let's watch the next episode. Lots of fun stuff in this episode. Also, Chopper being the one that really is so much the emotional heart of the show, right? He is the one who is so showing constant empathy for the losses that they're taking. I think is a really smart choice. Because, the other characters have to be, Zoro has to be stoic, Sanji has to be stoic. Nami a little bit has that empathy, but also Nami's kind of directing everything and has to be kind of in charge. And Luffy's doing his thing. He's angry, he's getting Robin back. And so by having Chopper be the person who is paying attention to the pain that this is causing to the people involved is a really clever use of the character. And I think that's been handled really well in these last few episodes. Oh, I almost looked at the title again. I heard Luffy though. Guys, Luffy might be in this episode. Oh, we're veering wildly. Oh shit. He got shot in the fucking eyes. Alright. What started as emergency food became best friends. This is so sweet, actually. These boys. Oh, there's a building. No, there's no building. I don't know what you're talking about. I have 3 katanas. What can a building do to stop 3 katanas? That shot's cool as fuck, though. Oh, we're here. We made it. Let's go, Gamora. When all this is over and you're all healed up, I hope they give you the greatest feast known to King Bull kind. You've deserved it. Chopper's too good for this world. I'll say it 1,000,000 times over the next 1,000 episodes.
Who is
Spandam's dad? Or mom, right? Who's nepotistically allowing this to happen? There's no way this arc ends in any way other than Buster Call destroying Enies lobby, right? Spandam would be dumb enough to accidentally call a Buster Call. That might be how this ends. I can't imagine who, dude. Can't imagine. Couldn't figure it out. He hasn't listened to it yet. He's gonna let them hear what happened. And it's just gonna be on the other line. We're dying, Spandam! We're dying over here! Oh, fuck you, Spandam. Yes. The fight I didn't know I wanted to see. These guys kind of remind me of the Iron Sheikas from Legend of Zelda.
どんな敵が狙ってくるのか知っといてもいいだろう。
Let's go, Sanji.
なんだこいつは。
Why are they in like pink attire? They kind of look like the Rancor Wrangler. Oh my god, what's his fucking name from Return of the Jedi?
おたぼたすんなお前ら。先に行くぞ。
あの分厚い石。
Yeah, those katanas are basically lightsabers at this point.
おいもとカーシーも海賊側に寝返り。ただいま本島中央付近を逆走中。
Spandam's having a real bad day.
どうなってんだ。
You're losing, dude. That's what's happening. You're losing. It's really your own fault for trying to take on the Straw Hats. Let's be real. Where did Luffy go? Did he go over the wall or down the floor? Oh, down. Okay. It's a good way to dodge a Tempest Kick there.
ドアは開けば閉まるもの。よく乱脚を避けたものだ。
Yeah, well, it's a piece of cake. Super easy. Slick. Luffy, you better. Damn, Luffy's getting fucking good at fighting these guys. Maybe by the time he gets to Lucci, he'll actually, like, stand a chance.
俺が誰よりも強くならなきゃ、そいつらをみんな失っちまう。
Interesting the way they showed them.
もう失わねえように。
What the fuck?
俺にはついてこれねえぞ。
何？
俺の技はみんな。
Is he just choosing to level up?
いや、セカンド。
What the fuck just happened? Did Luffy just discover that he's a Saiyan? Like, I'm so confused. Second gear. So Luffy has gears. I've heard of fifth gear, right? Because that was a thing that happened this year, right? When he gets white hair. I didn't understand what it was. So it must... Is it gears? Do devil fruits have gears? I thought fifth gear was like a thing. I didn't know that it was like that we were going to have him level up throughout the show. It's so interesting that they don't introduce second gear until 272 episodes into the show. That's crazy. I wonder if the original plan was for him to have gears. Or if that was something that came in later. Like Oda was like writing it and trying to figure out how to explain leveling up. And so he came up with gears. Like I'm sure... Because One Piece is one of those interesting stories where it feels like so much was pre-planned. There's some things that tie so directly back to the beginning of the show. World building things, but it also feels like there's a lot of freedom to kind of futz with it as he goes along. And this gear thing is interesting. The way his calves moved there kind of freaked me out, but I like the concept of it. I just don't really know where he got it from. Like, why does he get it now? That's my thing with level ups in stories. I don't actually mind them. I think the characters leveling up makes sense in, you know, fighting animes. I think that Dragon Ball Z does a great job of that with the training room and different ways in which they show characters attaining new levels of power. And so I don't mind Luffy having a new gear literally here. I'm just not really sure what it stems out of, other than I guess desire. And I guess that's what it is in this show, right? It is literally a show built on like the power of hopes and dreams and friendship. And Luffy's hopes and dreams are for friendship. And so maybe it's almost out of fear, right? Like it's like an anxiety response to Usopp leaving. And, you know, the reason why he never hit second gear before was because there was never truly a risk of him losing any of his crewmates before this moment. But Usopp leaving has like spurned this emotional kind of thrumming in him. And that is what has pushed him into second gear more than any fight could have. Because I think that Luffy believes in himself so much that no amount of difficulty in combat would push him to second gear. But almost losing a friend does. And so in that context, I actually like this a lot. I'm so curious to see, like, does he fight differently in second gear, or is he just stronger? God, I can't wait to watch next episodes. I'm going to watch them later today. No, like, late tonight, I think. Or maybe tomorrow, but I'm so curious to watch what second gear is. That's not the only thing I have this episode, though. Loved Spandam, the cockiness of being like, I'm gonna let you listen to this report, only to find out that he's getting his ass handed to him in Enies lobby. Really love that scene. Obviously, I was laughing like crazy, and it brought me a lot of joy, a significant amount of joy. I also I do love where we have kind of landed with Sanji and Zoro, and the way that they interact with other people. That there is a stoic kindness to them, where it's sort of this, like, I'm not going to say that I'm going to do something nice for you. I'm just going to do it. That is really great. It's kind of stunning, and it is making both of them feel more like really great members of the team rather than powerful friends of Luffy's, right? And I think that the last Water 7 in this arc have done a really good job of filling in the ways in which these characters have emotional relationships with one another. I thought that element of these two arcs has been so strong, because at times in previous arcs, it's really felt like Zoro was Luffy's right-hand man. And the amount that he cared for other members of the team was just not as much, right? And not that he's an uncaring or, like, unempathetic character, but just that Zoro was kind of more frustrated with Usopp or Nami or, you know, Chopper than he was a teammate of theirs. And his relationship with Sanji obviously is more combative, but in sort of a bro-y way that I understand. This arc, in the quiet acts of cooperation that Sanji and Zoro have shown in order to remove obstacles from other people's ways, I've actually felt more of the teammate connections between them here. And I think it's been written really well. I think that it's been a really nice direction for the show to head in. I thought the sort of aggressive, annoyed, humor-filled, like, it actually takes longer for these people to bond than just the East Blue was smart. And I don't think that this stuff should have happened earlier. I think it should have happened here. I just think that it's being written really well here. And it's filling out those characters nicely. It's softening Sanji. I feel like Sanji's perviness has been really softened in Enies lobby in particular. You know, there's still sort of a chivalrous, like, I want to defend Nami, I want to save Robin, but it isn't so much about their bodies, which is, I think, what changes it, right? I think that what I didn't like about Sanji and Alabasta was that it was so much about Nami's physical body and like her clothing, and it was his obsession with viewing her as a woman he wants. And now it sort of feels like Sanji, the way he's been talking in this arc in particular, has been more about this woman that he cares about, and this woman that he has maybe has feelings for, but also genuinely wants the best for. And I think that has kind of made the perviness a little bit less irritating, partially because it's not really been present that much. But Sanji as a character, I feel like, has grown really in Water 7. I thought all these characters grew so much in Water 7, and they're all so much richer now, and the show's better for it. I think that Water 7 drastically changed what the team is into something that is rich and complex in a way that I'm so excited to see the next 700, 800, 900 episodes of these characters moving forward together, caring about one another, and doing this adventure that they're on. Yeah, great 2 episodes. I'm loving Enies Lobby. This is great. If you like the video, like, subscribe to the channel. If you don't, hit the dislike button. Leave me comments down below, because the algorithm god is hungry and we must feed her. This episode, that algorithm goddess is Gamora. Gamora, you did the dang thing. And I know you're going to be okay because it's One Piece, but, like, God, it just hurt to see hurt. If you want to follow me around the internet, you can. I'm at nerdynightly. As always, do something nerdy night.